Okay, great. Official, right? We are recording. All right, great. All right, great. Once again, hi everybody. Right. So good to have 19 plus people here currently. Right. So if you are here, that is you've seen the flyer or you're part of my community, and uh, the community decided to do a webinar to help us prepare for the new year, right? And it's exciting for me. It's my first webinar coming back after say 7 months of break or 6 months of break, right? So it's my first webinar after 6 months of break, and would continue from here, right? So just give me a minute. All right, so it's going to be a very very interactive section, right? Because we are all preparing. Trust me, I don't know what's in 2025, and I believe that unless you have a time traveling machine or you've been to 2025, you are from the future. We all don't know what's going to happen in 2025, right? So that is why we are here, and we want to brainstorm together how we can prepare for the coming year. I mean, it's kind of counterintuitive and ironic, right? That we're having this webinar, and earlier today I was inspired to write an article that kind of says you should not be in a rush to set your goals or plan your goals for 2025, right? I mean, it's a little bit controversial on some end, right? But I would explain a little bit of about what inspired the article, why we are doing this. Then would also learn some things. So let's get started right away. I don't always do waiting for anybody, right? Okay, so the slide is up. Yeah, the slide is up, and we have it running now. All right, great. Okay, great. So you should be able to see my screen. So I'm going to use a format I learned in one of this boot camp, and it's going to be very, very interactive. So it's going to be interactive in terms of your keyboard, in terms of you talking and responding to me, right? So if you can see my screen currently, please drop a 111 for me in the chat room so that I can know that we all can hear me and you can see my screen. All right. If you are with that face, give me a thumbs up. You can also give me a thumbs up, or you can give me 111. All right, great. All right, great, great, great. All right, great. Okay, please, Abby, please be on those guys that are trying to join. All right, great. All right, great. So we can see my screen. It's Adio, Prince that is here. If Lauren can see my screen and she can hear my voice. All right, great. Okay, great. All right, great. So just a quick one before we actually start. This might say it's not going to be a very, very long talk. It's going to be very practical, right? And the slides I have is just 3 pages, right? Apart from this first page, the remaining page is just two. So it's short, straight to the point, practical, actionable stuff, right? So before we start now, if you're on the community or you are if you're on the WhatsApp community or on the newsletter community and you're on this call, please find the link to the call and share with somebody. You can put on your status, tell a friend to join, tell somebody to join. If you know that we are going to gain value. You're going to gain value in this space. Tell somebody to join. Triumph again. Nice to see you here. I saw your comment on LinkedIn that you're always looking for the financial session. Now we are back. We are back. Sugar mommy, we are back. Don't worry. All right, great. So please do share the link. If you're on the WhatsApp, we'll just take the link on the WhatsApp, the link to the call this time around. Just take the link to the call, right? Can we have the link to the call in the chat section so that we people can share, right? So just take the link to the call, copy it, send to your friend that I feel like they can find value there, right? They don't necessarily have to be participating actively. They can just listen, maybe while doing stuff, and right, they would gain something. Right. So let's get right straight to it. So the conversation that we're having today is the 2025 financial blueprint, right? Essential steps for growth, how we can set up our finances for success in the new year, right? So there's something that I've learned, right? And it's quite fascinating, it's interesting, right? That people most time think that because it's a new year, it's a new set of 365 days, things are going to just get better, right? I believe that most people that are here, they believe that things are not just going to just get better automatically. That's why they are here, and why they're actually doing what they are doing in their own personal life, right? But how can we set up ourselves for success? That's how we set up our finances for success in 2025. So there's this thing, right, that people always do at the end of the year. People always brainstorm and try to set goals and try to do this and that to ensure that, oh, they get things done in the year. But in some cases, people actually make very big mistake when they're setting up the year. So I can remember one of the ventures that I was in, right, in the previous year, right. It was around this period where me and some guys were deliberating some stuff, right, and they were setting a revenue target for say 100 million, right. And I was like, I mean, I hate to be the bad person in the conversations, right? But I was like, this is too far fetched for a business that doesn't sell premium. I mean, it's a fast moving consumer good, right? But at the same time, fast fast moving consumer good, the scalability of products like that, I mean, it takes a lot of work to get it done. So it's not that it's not possible, right? But it takes something that is close to miracle to actually get it done, right? So I was telling them in that conversation that, oh, let's cut this thing down. So they had to cut it down to 25, right? But shockingly, right, that venture they actually didn't even do five, right? I'm talking about 25 million. That venture didn't actually do 5 million, right? Because I hate to be the person in the room that says, I told you guys so, but at the same time, one thing I've discovered this year that I've learned so far is the fact that most people always set goals, right? I want to make X amount of money in this year. I want to buy this in this year. I want to do this in this year, right? But there's really no structure and no blueprint around what they are doing, which is one of the things that I hope that we would get from this conversation, right? So how can we set up our finances for success? What's the financial blueprint for 2025? I'll go straight to the point. The financial blueprint is this. It's very simple. This is the financial blueprint for 2025. I keep saying 24, right? The financial blueprint for 2025 is as simple as this. The foundations are still the same. And I will clarify this, right? By the foundations are still the same, what I mean is most time, say 90% of us, we assume that we know things, right? And we assume that we have a lot of knowledge and we can get things done. But actually, we actually don't even have the knowledge. And when we do, we actually don't even have the complete knowledge to get it done, right? I was mentioning this to somebody earlier this year. I think that was around January, February, right? Because I was supposed to read about 50 books, but I did not achieve the goal. I stopped at 13 or 14, right? And I had about three books in progress, right? So I was only able to do 13. So I was part of the books that I read very early in this year that I read it again. Actually, for that particular book, I was reading it again, was The Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? And it's one of the things that is actually informing this particular slide that the foundation, the blueprint is not something mystical, it's not something out of the ordinary, right? It is the fact that the foundations are still the same. And the reason why I'm saying the foundations are still the same, I mean, I'm supposed to show you a blueprint. I'm supposed to share something that looks like I've been to 2025 and I've figured it out. This is what you should do if you want to be successful financially in 2025. But I'm here telling you that the foundations are still the same. Yes, the foundations are still very the same because most of the time when we say we know things or we do things, we actually don't know them. Let me give you an example. Right, I was speaking about the book that I read, right? The Rich Dad Poor Dad. I read it before, but I didn't finish it because at the point it was boring. I picked it up earlier this year again, and I finished it from the first cover to the last cover. I read every single word of it, right? And at the end of the book, I discovered that if I count five different people that I know, right, that said they've read the book before and they understand what it means and all, I was able to I picked about five of them. I started having conversations with them about what was in the last chapter of the book, and I discovered that none of them knows what was in the last chapter, right? And that was like a very small book that could give you like, I mean, guide on how to manage your money and how to be better financially, right? We didn't know it, right? So the foundation are still the same. Simply means that the blueprint for 2025 that we might be looking for, that I want to share now, is that if you want to set up yourself up financially for success in 2025, you have to do the boring stuff financially. You have to do the boring stuff. You literally have to do the boring stuff, right? And the boring stuffs are very, very boring when it comes to finance. As much as possible, I try to make them not the boring finance stuff, right? But we have to understand that we are going to be successful in 2025 financially. You just have to understand that the foundation of financial success is the same thing. The same way you are being successful financially when you were earning 100K, the foundation, the rules that apply is still the same rule, right? I mean, there might be a little bit of modifications, but the principal rules, the pillars of whatever you are doing, is still the same when you get to when you are making 500 million, when you're making a billion, right? I mean, a billion has been playing in my mouth recently these days, right? So it's still the same thing, right? And those are the things that I would present to us in a new perspective from another light and would help us to set the blueprints we are looking for 2025, right? So that's in our mind that the foundations are still the same. Already prepares our mind that in this call, you're not going to get a magic. So if you're on this webinar, you're on this call currently, and you feel like maybe you've seen me somewhere, I'm wearing kaftan or I was wearing suit on my birthday picture, and you feel like I have one money somewhere. I do not have the money somewhere. You feel like I have one act that I want to share with you that by January 5, you have 1 billion in your account, you have 1 million in your account. I do not have the hack. I just want to show you the pillars, the financial principles that would help you to build to get to wherever you are getting to, right? Wherever you want to get to. And that's why I started with the fact that the foundations are still the same. But the question is, do you know the foundation? Yeah, trust me, a lot of us does not know the foundation. I can point you to, if you give me 10 people that said they've read Rich Dad Poor Dad as a book, I can tell you for a fact that 8 out of them, if not 7, if not 9, right, they actually didn't finish the book. That means it's more like you're building a house, right? And you did 80% or 50% of the house, and you assume that you are done. It's going to come crashing, right? Say your house needs 20, your house needed, say, 10 pillars, and you put in 7 pillars, right? And you, what's it called? And you think you've built the structure very well. You start putting other stuff there. At the end of the day, by the time you put something heavy on the structure again, it's going to come crashing. Maybe you put a gym on the second floor or the third floor, it's going to come crashing because you didn't get all the foundation right. You didn't even know all the foundation. So those are the things that I'll be pointing out to us, right? All right, great. So this is the last slide. I'm just going to make it's going to be very, very explosive. I've been talking about this thing since the beginning of this year, and I can't actually exhaust talking about it. So, what are the foundations for financial success? What are the foundations that would give you the blueprints to setting up your finances for 2025, right? So let's get started with this. The image on the screen currently is showing you a pattern, right? It's showing you a pattern, money movement pattern, right? So the first thing that you should know when you're creating your own blueprint, yeah, you're going to be creating your own blueprint. I don't have one I'm giving you. I'm just pointing you to that right direction. The the principles that you need, the things you need to create your own blueprint, right, is on this page. And the first thing is you have to understand that whatever you are going to do financially in 2025, it's a pattern. It's going to be as a result of a pattern. And patterns when it comes to finances always results out of your habits, right? So say you are the kind of so you are the say you are the kind of person that say you are the kind of person that get paid, you get paid. So you are the kind of person that get paid and you go shopping, you go do stuffs. It won't things won't change, right? So what we have to first realize is the fact that whatever thing that you are going to get out of 2025 financially is as a result of a pattern, and the pattern is more like a summation of your financial habits, right? So let me give you an example, right? I think the very first time I was going to host a webinar, I started a webinar. I hosted a webinar on becoming a money magnet, right? Why start with why you are not making money first, right? Because most of the time when people don't have money, or when people are financially in a rough spot, they start with, how can I get money? They start with, oh, I need to get money, right? They are not asking themselves the question of, why don't I have money, right? I mean, is there something that I'm missing out of this big picture? Why does somebody have and I don't have? Is there something that I'm missing? Why am I not reaching my goals financially? Is there something that somebody knows that I don't know, right? So that's the thing. You have to understand that whatever you are, the person that is a poor person, right? Right? Say on the left hand side here, is poor because of a pattern. A person that is a middle class is a middle class because of a financial pattern, and the person that is rich because of their pattern as well. And how can you now break this pattern down and make it better? So the pattern that you arrive at is basically your financial blueprint. I can tell you that your whatever you have in at the end of this year, right, is as a result of the pattern that you followed in 2024, right? And that's because that's because you maybe didn't pay attention to it or something, right? So let's get started with it, right? Let's get started with it. So the first thing is, when you want to achieve anything, you should have the end in mind. It sounds a little bit motivational, right? But it sounds a little bit motivational, but allow me to just do that little bit, that stuff. Let me just steal the moment for now, right? So whatever you're looking for in 2025, like I said, you should not rush to set your goals, right? The reason why I said you should not rush to set your goal is basically this. Trust me, life can eat you hard, and you can be in a situation where your mind is so clustered and you can't even think straight. Right? I was there this year. I was so stressed, so busy that I can't read a page of a document. I can't read the document. The moment the document is more than half page, I can't read it. Right. So one of the things you need to understand is, for you to know what you want, you have to for you to know what you want, you need some level of clarity. Some level of clarity that you will get is, you have to step out of whatever you are doing currently. See, okay, what was that thing that you're looking for in 2024? Why didn't you get it? That's you stepping out of whatever it is that you are running currently. So when you step out of it and you gain clarity, and you know what you want for 25, right? Then you can start to create that blueprint. And to create that blueprint, like I said earlier, will be as a result of the patterns that you follow, right? The patterns that you follow, which are function of your habits. So let's break it down now. If you look at this image, I believe we can all see the picture, and you can all hear me, right? If you can see the what's on the screen currently, and you can hear me audibly, please give me a thumbs up or a 222. Please, you can hear me correctly. All right, great. Okay, great. Okay, great. All right, all right, great. Thank you very much. All right, so like I said before, whatever you are going to get, take time to find clarity, and really breaking it down. There's no rush to this thing actually, right? Because I stumbled on an adage in 2020, right, on TV, and the adage says that whenever you wake up, that's your money. So if I wake up this time, this 4 p.m., but somebody wakes up this 4 p.m. now, that's 4 p.m. is that person's money. The person can try to say good morning to somebody, right? So whenever you wake up, it's your money. So take your time, no rush, right? Figure out what you want, where you're headed, right? So when you achieve it, right? When you get that, now try to examine it. Do you think the patterns that you follow currently can lead you there? So I would show you where your pattern will lead you, right? And you can now use that to answer. You can now use that pattern to answer. You can now use that pattern to answer the question of, will your current habit, your current pattern lead you to where you're going? So let's break the patterns down. So as you can see on this left hand side, we have the very poor, we have not very poor, we have the poor youths, the guys that don't really have money. I mean, they hardly get by and all, right. It looks like everybody or every other person has it easy, but this guy does not have it easy, right? And sometimes they have a job, they have maybe a full-time job, a something or something, right? They're making money one way or the other, right? And they when they make money, they spend it on expense, literally, right? But if you are the kind of person that maybe you're not even making money yet, then that's where you now need to take a step back. Whatever you want to achieve in 2025 financially, right? No matter the goals, the idea that you set, or anything, whatever you have going on for you in 2025, is going to depend largely on the fact that you're able to make money for yourself. That's one thing I've figured out. You're able to either make money for yourself or make money for somebody, right? Because I discovered that there is something called wealth by association, right? Wealth by association is, I can know Dex Fiat now, right? Help Dex Fiat to make, say, a billionaire, and in turn, it give me, say, 10%, 100 million. I'm rich, right? And I can make him, if I can make him, the higher I can make him, the more I can get. So if I'm able to make him more than a billion, then I can get more than 100 million. You get the idea. The same thing. So you can, whatever you're getting in 2025 is going to be as a result of you being able to make money for yourself or make money for others. And sorry to go back, I know this is a little bit of basics, right? For you to make money for yourself, actually, you might actually not need to, or make money for somebody else. You might not necessarily need to do something different from what you have been doing, right? Sometimes you might just need to change your position. Let me give you an example. Maybe you've seen this illustration somewhere, but it occurred to me later, right? And it's just become more of my reality very recently, right? I go to the gym very, very often, right? And at the gym, I buy a bottle of water for 250 naira, right? And I currently run a restaurant, right? And at the restaurant, we sell the bottled water for 500, right? And at Chicken Rep, they currently sell their bottled water for 400. At the club, they sell the bottled water for 1,000. It's same water. Actually, if you buy it directly from the supplier currently, bottled water costs about, say, 170 naira per one. You buy it directly from the wholesalers. So that means you have to understand that in 2025, it might not be that you have to switch your skill, you have to do something. You might necessarily just have to go global. Go global, change your position, change what you are doing, take something, change the perspective to which people are seeing you, right? Would enable you to make more for yourself, right? Another way you can actually change your position is maybe something that you've been doing before that has been giving you 10 million, leverage, use other people's money, right? And 10x it to give you, say, 100 million, right? So you sort that way, you sort the part of what's it called? Getting money to come in for you, right? Even if you're working for somebody, you might need to just maybe save up or something, or just take a course and bump up or something, right? Sometimes you necessarily don't need to add something to what you're doing. You just change your position, change your perspective, tell your story better, actually sell yourself better, be louder about it. Should actually get people to pay you what you are worth. So once that is out of the way, let's get back to these patterns, right? So, like I said before, we've talked about how you can make the money. I'm not going to the basics of how you can make the money, right? I mean, if you have a skill, you have something, whatever you're doing, make money for yourself or make money for somebody else, right? Get a cut of it, right? So when you get to that stage, that means you already have an income, right? So it's going to be very, very important that in 2025, whatever you want to achieve for yourself financially, whatever you want to own, you need to make money for yourself. There's wealth by association, right? But when it comes to actually making money, you can't make money by depending on somebody else's money. You have to actually make money. Even if I'm helping you to make money, there must be an agreement that if I'm making you 100 million, right, you give me 10 million out of it. It will be written black and white. So unless it is written that way that I'll do something for you, you make 100 million, you give me 10 million. You're just catching cruise with the person. The person is the one making the money. So you have to make money, sell yourself, reposition yourself, and stuff like that. So when you get to the where you really, really does have something coming in for you, then that's when you now have to start accumulating, building up, and scaling, right? But the problem that most people make now, they're not differentiate people into different classes, the poor, the middle class, the rich, right? Whatever you're going to end up with in 2025, December, this time next year, will depend on what you do with the money that come in, right? So the category of the poor, I've been there before, right? I've been there before actually, right? And the people that make money, they pay rent, they pay taxes, they pay food, they pay for transportation, clothes, and that's all. Basically, that's all. The money just disappear. And at the end of the month, it's still like, uh, the money is not enough, I'm broke, wait for next paycheck, right? You have to understand that you can create a successful 2025 financially. You follow this pattern. So I'm going to go through this pattern, and then we'll go down to how you can correct them, right? This is the pattern for people that are poor. This is why the people that are literally poor in Nigeria, they are poor. They make money, spend it for food, maybe a little bit of smoke, a little bit of this and this disappears. Then we have the middle class. The middle class was where my parents actually fell into, right? They have a job, I mean, an averagely paying job, good retirement plan and stuff like that. The money coming depend on expenses, taxes, car payment, credit, stuff like that, school fees and stuff like that. Then it goes to other stuff like liability, like car loan and stuff, right? In rare cases, that's when you find civil servant that they take loans to build houses and stuff like that. So it goes into that, right? But at the end of the day, they actually do not invest in something that will bring the money back. The money just literally just come into their hand. These two categories, the poor, the middle class, the money come into their hand and it leaves, right? Then we have the very different guy. Those guys that are the outlier of the society, where we want to be in 2025, at the end of 2025. These are the guys that seemingly look like they have the money. Some of them do have the money. Some of them is just paparazzi around it. Trust me, I've seen some of them like that, right? So what does these guys do? The first thing that they do is, if you look at this, I don't know if you can see this better. I don't know. But we look at the top of it, you notice something different in the column, in the income column of the rich guys. And look at the poor, it's just one income that is there, salary. The middle class is just one income that is there. When you get to the third guy, you have about four, right? So when you find a way to make yourself money, find a way to make somebody money, you can't depend on one single source, right? You know why? Because inflation is fucking real in Nigeria currently. Sorry for the F word. Inflation is real in Nigeria. And everybody had to learn that lesson very, very hard with this new economic situation, right? Inflation has always been a dictionary word, an economic textbook word, right? But not everybody understands what inflation is. I don't need to explain to you on this call, right? So no matter what you're making, you're going to be doing yourself a disservice if you don't find another way to make money. And there's the interesting part, right? You can't actually make so much by yourself. You can't make so much by yourself, right? You can't make so much by yourself because you can't do everything by yourself. You can't do everything by yourself. You are the one making money from A, you are the one making money from B, you are the one making money from C and stuff like that. You break down, which is where you have to learn this word. You might know this word before, but you have to learn it financially. The word leverage, right? Leverage simply means you use something small to put something bigger. It's it's physics under physics 101, right? Secondary school physics, using a pulley system, use a weight that is small to move a weight that is bigger, right? That's leverage basically. So you have to find a way where whatever you are doing, you can use a little effort to command at least two times the results. You get the idea. So which is where the rich understand that they can't make money by themselves alone. right? They are going to die struggling, middle class or broke that way, right? They now start to what's it called, give themselves different streams of revenue where they would have salary. The rich also have salary. They will have salary. They would have rental income, dividend, interest, royalty, and stuff like that, right? And they're able to have some of these things because they actually invest time into something that we don't invest time into. Let me give you an example. Say I invest 80 minutes per day or 20 minutes per day in learning about finance for 3 years consecutively, right? At the end of 3 years, and I create an explosive financial literacy course for say 25,000, and I find a digital marketer that is very, very good. I save up, I pay the person to help me sell out the course year year in, year out, right? I will make more money than digital marketer, right? It's as simple as that. That's the basic principle of how these guys work, right? And they do understand that it's not only about making money from all of these sources. When you make money from all of these sources, you make money from high income skills, right? At the end of the day, you can actually be very broke. Yeah, people can be making high income and they will be broke at a different level. The only issue is somebody is broke at 15K level. You are broke at 1 million level. Then somebody is broke at say 50 million level because they have an house rent that is due and it's 25 million. They have to pay for school that is 10 million and stuff like that. You can be broke at different levels, right? So, but what these guys understand is when you make the money, wherever you're making the money from, no matter how the volume is, you don't put it only in expenses. You put it in expenses, it goes through a little bit of liability, but it always must end up at assets, right? And this is where most people actually make a mistake. Yes, people make a mistake as assets. So I mean, you see it on Instagram, you have people pushing, don't spend your money on your expenses alone, don't spend your money on liability alone, right? Spend your money on assets, buy assets and all. But that's where they leave people in the jungle. Because I'm telling you that if you spend your money on assets, you can spend your money on assets, a lot of assets, and you still be very broke, right? And what the rich understand that makes them different is the fact that when you look at assets, it's not only about assets, you have to understand the stage where you are in, right? And the type of asset that would work for you, which is where you have to understand that there is difference between assets. There are some assets that will bring you cash, and there are some assets that they just increase in value, and you can sell them out later to cash out, right? But you have to understand how to use this and leverage them to actually build your blueprint for 2025, right? So you have to understand that this is the pattern of what makes the rich different from the poor. Yeah, I'm telling you this for a fact because that I know of. My mom has a house, right? Yeah, she built a house by herself, working 9 to 5, right? But can she have done better? Could she have done better? Yes, definitely. Maybe 10x better if she had some of this knowledge that I have, right? If she knows, say 70% of what I know currently, I'm very sure she will do 10x of what she did. Yeah, I'm giving you that, right? Because at that time, what they knew was maybe buy land, build a house, send your babies to school, right? They didn't know anything about stocks. And as at the time, let me go back, as at 1999 or as at 2000, right? Around that time where Zenith Bank was doing their initial public offering, this thing that the banks were doing recently, I think they did it a lot this year that they're advertising their stocks for people to buy and all right. It's not the first time that it's happening. It has happened way back a lot of time, right? Zenith Bank did it when we were raising funds. I think that was 1999 or something. I can't remember the exact date, right? So they did that time because they needed more capital to run their business. That was when the CBN made a new policy, right, that they should refinance, just like they did recently, right? They made a policy, so they needed to add more capital. Some banks were folding up, some were merging together. So Zenith Bank CEO at that time said they wanted to raise funds, right? Because at that time, I think when I did the rough math, if they had invested, say, about 20,000 to something, right, you would have more than 3 million currently now. More than 3 million in terms of the total dividend that they would have paid you and the total and the growth of your stock of Zenith Bank stock. Because at that time it was selling for very low amounts, right? So if they are known something like that and they are consistently maybe apportioning a certain percent of their salary to it, I mean, even though there is inflation currently, if I give you 3 million now, it would, but no matter what you are in, it will at least adjust a little bit, unless you are in debt like Tony Lumelu kind of level. Tony Lumelu is not in debt. I'm just saying that at that level, I need every fund. Obviously, 3 million can do something for you. But we at say our own level, average level now, they give you 3 million, we still do something for you, right? So you do get the idea. So you have to understand this difference. So whatever you are going to arrive at December 2025 is going to be based on how you understand these three different categories and how you're able to move yourself from one to the other and to the last one, right? So one of the things that actually make these three categories different, I'm going to break it down to us in terms of personal finance. It's very, very simple. The rich play the long-term game. Trust me, it's not going to make sense. The long-term game. Let me give you an example of playing the long-term game, right? Imagine what it's going to feel like if you put money, millions and money into something for 1 year consistently and you didn't make 1 naira from it. That's how it feels like. And that was what, I don't know if some people know about West City. That's what West City feels like at the beginning. 1 year straight, it was exactly how many days? Say 10, 15 days to exactly 1 year mark. That was when we started making our first revenue, right? It got to a stage where we had to even do pre-sale. We had to even do more like, say, we'll sell tickets on our opening of the launch, reservation opening of the launch, even raise more money to actually put in the business, right? I mean, it was crazy stunt, right? So that's one of the things that the rich understand. They understand that you have to delay state application in some stages. You have to do play the long-term game. That's how you can move from year to year and to year. It's not going to be easy. If you, wherever you are currently, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, right? So it's not going to be easy. But what you can do is, like I said before, get to know this pattern, know how you can where you are currently, figure out how you can break the cycle of the pattern you are running currently, break it, rewrite. When you look at what you are running currently, cycle of what you are running currently, you understand the current blueprint that you are running. When you break it, and from some of the things that we'll see today, right, and some of the questions that will be asked, when you use it to rewrite the pattern, that is your blueprint for 2025. So let me give you a little bit more before we start having questions and all right. So we've talked about income already. So we talk about making money. Make sure that you make money. Like make money aggressively. Please make money aggressively. I'm begging you in the name of God. Make money aggressively, right? Make money. Do I mean position yourself for opportunities and stuff like that, right? But when you're making money, now understand that there is a limit to how much you can make yourself directly. Because no matter how skilled you are, I'm not going to pay you more than what I'm capable of paying you. No matter how skilled you are, you can't make money than the company itself, right? So you have to understand that. So when you understand that, you now have to now rewriting the rule, right? Leveraging people to make money, create systems that can make money for you, right? Say maybe you're a developer, or say maybe you're somebody that is into say agriculture, you're into say maybe rabbit farming or fish farming, or you are into say piggery or something, right? You know how to do this thing, right? I'm telling you that in Nigeria, you can find like minimum, you can find like 50 people that want to go into this business currently. They need somebody to point them in the right direction. So what if you don't know so much? I understand, right? But what if you document every single thing that you know, take the pain, the time to document it, study more, increase the entire stuff, bundle it out as a course, find somebody to teach you how to sell a course, and start finding people that want to start a big business and sell to them, right? You're making money from your big business currently. But if somebody pays you, say, 50K for a course on how to start big business, how to start rabbit business, right? That 50K is going to be an extra cash for you. It's going to do something for you. Let me give you an example of what I did earlier this year. So earlier this year, I launched a course on stock investing 101. I didn't need the money, but I just needed the experience. I needed the knowledge, and I wanted to share with people. And at the same time, I didn't want to share with people freely because I had tried it before, I attended it before, and people didn't take it serious. So I attached the price to it. I created 100-page slide for the entire master class, right? I think I made over 100,000 from the course, right? And what did I use the money for? I actually used the money to buy another course from a very popular person that runs marketing, that is into marketing and knows how to create funnels and all, how to sell your course better. So what I did is I used my current knowledge of what I know the network that I built, the newsletter that I built, whatever I've done before, the all of the assets that I built, people that I can talk to and stuff like that, learn from people that know about marketing, go to somebody else to redraft the entire launch plan and stuff like that, right? I used that to launch a course, made that amount from it, more than that, right? And I used the money to buy another course that will teach me how to sell the course better. Would also teach me how to create more courses. So even I can wake up today, say after 5 years of running a restaurant, I can create a course on how to start a restaurant because I know how to start a course. I'm currently getting experience in the hospitality industry. I'm paying for the certification in the hospitality industry. Next year, I just enroll myself for a course in hospitality industry, 500,000. So it will not be shocked next time, and you will not be shocked next time when I have a course that is somebody's paying 500,000 for, because I figured out I can't make money by myself. If I'm employed or I'm doing a business, I'm self-employed, there's limit to what I can actually make by myself alone. I have to create systems, systems to make money. See, one thing about system is they don't get tired. So if there's one thing you want to do around your income in 2025, find a way to create systems around your money making process. Systems don't get tired. System can run overnight. System can be making you money when you are sleeping. If you have a course somewhere, if you have whatever it is, it might not be a course. If you have a product somewhere, if you have a productized service somewhere that can be running in the system automated, it will make you more money than you can actually make actively yourself. So you have to understand that you would get more ahead in 2025 if you do more of a combination of active income and passive income, right? That's it. I think we can learn more by ourselves on that. Then the next thing is what some of the things that would help you to break the cycle from each of these categories that we have on the screen is the fact that you have to learn to manage, right? One thing most people don't know is when you are paid a salary, when you get paid from maybe you said you made a deal, you traded, you did this, when you get money that you think is for yourself, it's not for you. Whatever money that you get that you think is for yourself is not for you, right? The reason is, like I said before, system is what run this world. System basically is what run the entire thing that is working in this world, right? We have a system currently that you run. Say you're a software developer, right? You have to pay for data, you have to pay for lights. If you're using gen, you have not gone solar, right? You have to pay for X, Y, Z, you have to pay for soap, detergents, body cream, and stuff like that, food and all. So when you are the next salary that you're looking at, say January salary that you're looking at, I can tell you that 60% of that salary is not for you. It's just coming to your account. It's not for you. It's going to that woman that is selling changing down your street, because there is one day that you are going to feel bored. Maybe you have been on a bug for like 2 hours or more than that. I feel like strolling out and you're coming back, you see a chin chin. It's 200 naira, right? It's not expensive. You buy it. The money that you paid in January that you thought is for you, is like part of it is for that woman that's selling chin chin. She's just here to claim it in your account. So you have to learn budgeting. You have to learn saving. Saving is now where you pay yourself. I know these things are basic. Like I said before, I'm not giving you a magical sheet, right? I'm not giving you a magical blueprint. I'm literally just giving you everything that I know that would enable you to write your own 2025 financially, right? So you have to now learn saving, because trust me, if you don't know how to save when you're making 50K, you are making 100K, you have a business that is making 100 million, it's still the same thing. It's whatever you have, the pattern that you have running in your head is the same pattern that you apply to your business. I think there's this adage or something that I found a long time ago that no business or no entity, no family can outgrow its founder or CEO, the mind of its founder. So if you're a business, if you're a family man, the patterns that you have in your mind currently. So if you have a family, your family can evolve beyond that pattern. So that's it. So learn to save. Saving is where you put yourself, right? And we talk about something around invest what's it called, saving, right? We talk about creating multiple sources of income. Trust me, for you to create multiple sources of income, it will not be easy, because sometimes you have to pay to enter some rooms. There are some rooms that you have to pay to enter. I think I wrote it part of the lessons that I learned, part of the what's it called? The newsletter that I wrote, 25 lessons on my 25th birthday. That was the last one. You have to pay to enter some rooms. So if you don't save, there's a sacrifice to enter every room. So you're running a business now, or you're a developer now, you know how to do X, Y. There's a particular room you need to enter. They're making $1,000 now. There's a particular room you need to enter to make $5,000, to make $10,000. Trust me, there's a price for that room. The price might not be in money, but somehow the price is tied to money. Somehow at the end of the day, maybe you need to go for a course, you need to go for a conference, you need to go meet somebody, you need to network and do something. Maybe you need to travel out of the country to find a company that would pay you $10,000, right? To appreciate your value, change your position to increase your value exponentially. But if you have not been saving when you are making $10,000, when you are making $1,000, how do you pay the agents that will help you run your travel and stuff like that? So you get the idea, right? So that's how you can climb up the pyramid of reward. And the word is really, really not fair. You have to learn the pyramid of reward. I think I've shared this in my newsletter before. Then when you get this, you now have to start putting money into things, right? Investing. One of the greatest assets you can have is yourself. I'm trying to avoid the F word, right? Is yourself, right? If you know how to do it from scratch, you can literally replicate it anywhere again. So as much as possible, make your mind a weapon, right? Make your mind a weapon. Your body is the battleground. Just make your mind a weapon. Learn as much as possible. Once you learn, find ways you can share it with people, either free, paid, little amount, or something. It will make money for you on the long run, right? Then when you do this, now learn asset classes, right? You understand that investing is not just straightforward. Buy land and keep it. You're a developer, you're making 5K dollars, buy land and keep it. You're wasting money, honestly, because there's a lot to it. There's a lot around it, right? So these are the principles that you need to understand to actually rewrite your blueprint. So whatever you have been doing currently, whatever pattern you have been running, with everything that I've said now, you figure out where you're going wrong, what can help you to achieve what you're looking for, how to break the pattern and rewrite it to create your 2025 blueprint. And when you're creating a blueprint, have it in mind that you're playing a long-term game, right? You're playing a long-term game if you want to achieve your goal, right? And whatever you are doing, right, it's the goal is not to actually become rich. Your goal is to become free, because the more money you have, you understand the essence of the money you have. The money is for freedom, right? Say you are a developer now, you're at least a developer. Say you are making 200K in this economy. I think you should not be doing your laundry yourself, actually, because you can buy time. Find somebody on the street that will do your laundry for you. Say you're making 200,000, right? Calculate how much. This is something I used to run my own stuff, right? If I want to, if it's something that I can do myself, right, and there's somebody that I can pay to do it for me, two things that I always do is I always try to think how much do I worth currently on the market. Say I am currently worth $20 per hour. Last time I checked on Upwork, I was worth say $25 per hour. Say I'm currently worth $25 per hour, right? And it will take me an hour to do my entire laundry for the week. If I do my laundry myself, I'm actually stealing from myself. I'm doing myself a disservice. I'm damaging my financial life. You know why? $20 multiplied by 1,006 currently. Say I'm even worth $20 on the labor market. $20 multiplied by 1,600 is 32,000. I'm telling you, the clothes cannot be that much that a laundry guy will collect 32,000 from you in this Nigeria, unless you are entering the big man laundry. So you see that when you get to some stages, you have to start learning why the rich do this, why they have people to do stuff for them. The word leverage. You have to understand that you've been running that cycle of, I mean, you're just making 200,000. You should not be paying for laundry. That's actually one of these things that is keeping you in the cycle you are running currently. Pay for it. Understand things from different perspective. Your life is going to get better in 2025. That's just by the way, right? So play the long-term game, right? Invest in what you know. By the time you want to do something, learn by the time you've accumulated it's savings, right? You need to invest. The first thing you should actually invest in is in yourself. By the time you've invested in yourself to an extent, you reach a cap. It's normal. You reach a glass roof. At that point, you will know that you need to start You need to start investing in some other things, right? Invest in things that would save you time. If I mean things that will save you time, maybe getting a, so even if you don't want to do laundry, if you don't want to do your laundry out, you need the time to be creative, to think around things and be creative and stuff like that. Buy a laundry machine or something, right? You can be writing your code in your room, and the laundry machine is doing your laundry outside somewhere and stuff like that, right? Invest in things that will save you time, things that will buy you time. One of the greatest things that you should actually spend money on is time, not food, not private jets. You wonder why somebody will pay $10,000 per hour to fly a jet. It's not because the money is that much. It's because they understand that if it takes me from Abuja to from Lagos, from Akure to Lagos takes about 5 hours. The road is very good, but you can get there in an hour or 30 minutes or 45 minutes if you fly. You can afford it. Pay for it in 2025. It will save you the time. The remaining 1 hour, use the remaining 1 hour to invest in something reasonable. Then on the long run, the effects would compound crazily that you would beat your competition. You would beat anybody who is in your level, right? Then invest in what you know, learn things, invest in assets, and the last one is take calculated risk. Some risk will actually not make sense, but take them. It will not make sense, right? I mean, I didn't really know jack shit about running a restaurant when we started one, but I learned very fast. It was a calculated risk, right? That what's the worst thing that would happen? This sales will be slow, but we'll still have the assets. It's not going to just the next day because we didn't make so much money. It's not going to just disappear from the entire world, right? So it was a calculated risk that on the long run, if you know how to market very well, you will make the money. So it was a calculated risk. So take calculated risk, right? And you don't have to start you don't have to start very big. You just have to start smart, right? Just start smart, right? And the last thing is to create your blueprint for you in 2025. You have to understand that this is a very, very rocky part. The world is not fair. The world is freaking not fair. I said this before. I think I said it in the place before. The world is not fair. Your effort is not directly proportional to the reward. It's not. Your effort is not directly proportional to your reward. By your reward, I mean income. So understand how the world works and play the game. It's literally a game. The world is a game. So if you don't know it's a game, I'm telling you on this webinar now, if you're listening to this webinar next time, or we are coming back to this recording next time, that the world is all right. So I think I just lost internet there, right? So I will share with you now. For one of the things that would really help you to 2025 to get better and create a very, very solid blueprint for yourself. Like I said before, I'm not the one creating for you, right? It's something that I've been listening to for the past 2 months, right? Let me share it in the newsletter now. It's a podcast that will help you understand more that the world the world is not right. The world is strictly fair. The world is not fair at all. Your effort is not directly proportional to your reward. So if you want to understand that system, if you really want to rewrite your financial blueprint and make it better in 2025, you have to. I feel like this is the first thing you have to start with before you even enter whatever. You can listen to it later or something, right? But you have to understand that your effort is not going to directly proportional to your reward, right? And when you understand that fact, it will help you to understand and help you make sense of the facts of what people always say on big stage, on podcasts, and the so big people, the rich guy, the guys in the fame that learn how to leverage other people's money. Why do I have to leverage if my effort is directly proportional to reward? I mean, leverage from the concept of physics, this system. I'm using a weight of say 5 kg to pull another weight of 10 kg up, double the size, right? So if effort is directly proportional to the reward, that means I have to use 5 kg weight to pull 5 kg load, right? 5 kg energy to pull 5 kg weight. The effort is that directly proportional to the reward. Why are we talking about leverage? Why are we talking about terms of network and stuff like that? So you have to really understand. And I hope that podcast help you, right? This is a complete shout out to my brother that created the podcast. It's amazing. You should follow him and join his community on the what's it called, the podcast, right? When you learn that, you understand that life is a game, just like money. So when you, like I said before, when you realize that you're playing a game, the first thing you do is you learn the fucking rules. Sorry for using the F word. You learn the rules and you start playing. Right. Most of our parents, most of the older generation didn't know it's a game. They didn't know that it's a game. That's why they didn't learn the rule and they actually didn't play. They were just what's the word for that? They were just not NPC, right? I'll call them NPC. They are just there in the game. They are not active players. They have played any game before. They're not active players. They're not actually playing the game. They're just there to facilitate other players to play game. That's what an average person in Nigeria, an average person in the world does. So you don't want to be an NPC when it comes to money game. You have to know that it's a game that you're playing, right? And you learn the rules. That's when you start playing. All right, great. It's been say about an hour of talking, and I would love us to go on questions now. All right. So if you have questions now, you feel like this as it might even be comment or something. If you have a different perspective that you love us to share, something that I think we should know, right? Do please do raise your hand so that we can give you the mic and you can come on the stage, the popular stage, and you can speak. All right, great. All right, great. Seems like people were not hearing me or they are too shy to they don't have questions. I'm an amazing speaker or teacher or whatever it is. Or I was I was so terrible that you guys didn't understand at all. All right, so if you've got everything that we said here, please give it a thumbs up. Give me well, okay, we have Solomon. If you found value in everything that I said, give it a thumbs up. Let's know that you found value and we didn't just waste an hour. All right, Solomon, please can you unmute yourself and yeah, go for it.
Okay,
All
good
right,
evening,
great.
everyone.
Good
Thank you so
evening.
much for your time. I really appreciate, you've actually shared a lot of value based on what you've said so far, and I'm grateful for it. I don't have much question. One of the things I just have to say is just to show a bit of appreciation because you are doing it out of your own, your time and everything, and is of value too. But one of your meeting I attended, there was a time you were talking about, real estate and all those kind of stuff. And you made mention, although this is just by the way, it's just seeking
Yeah,
for advice either way. You made mention of investing based on the piggy verse, all those mutual fund and that
yeah,
kind of thing. Although in investing you have to do your due diligence too. But
yeah.
is there anyone that categorically you will advise someone can invest in? And secondly, there was a time you are talking about this broker or
Okay.
firm rather. We before I usually use bamboo, but based on advice on your experience, which firm will you like broker will you advise? Because the charges varies based on experience. So what's your take on that? Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Let me start with the real estate part that you mentioned, right? If I got the question very well, right? You're asking which one do you think we can put money into, right? So
Yeah.
let me just put it out there for anybody that is there in Nigeria currently. If you're not, I don't know, if you're not so big enough that you're commanding some level of capital, I think you should not really play in Nigerian real estate market. One, it's overpriced. Two, if you are building on the long term and you're considering dollar return, say think of yourself as a big investor. So you're investing from outside the country, you're investing in Nigerian real estate in dollars, right? The returns would not make sense for the common real estate investment that is available in Nigeria, the one that the WhatsApp guys always shout about. Buy a land in Lekki, you sell it for Dangote is building his refinery, Otedola is building his daddy's house near the land, the estate. You sell it for 10x next year. Nah, by the time you consider inflation and all, you didn't really make money. Be very sincere, just my personal opinion, right? You should really not be putting money in. If you're just starting, don't put money. If you want to do assets that will do appreciation, don't put money in land in Nigeria. Sometimes you can put money is gold, not a beat gold standard. Nigerian land cannot beat gold standard. Even US residential property cannot beat gold standards. You know why? Because cannot beat gold standard, right? You know why? Because as at 2020, when I thought of buying my first gold, right? 2021, that I'd advise somebody to buy his own. I thought of buying my own, which I didn't really buy, right? At that time, gold was selling for 25,000 naira per gram. As of now, it's more than 100,000 naira per gram. I'm telling you, if you buy land in Lekki, unless it's just this overpriced, overhyped shit that's going on in Nigeria, you can't get that return, right? And you can literally just walk out of Nigeria tomorrow morning and sell your gold in US and get cash. For Nigeria, if you want to sell a land, by the way, do you know that if you buy property in Nigeria, it takes time before you can actually get to sell them? And there's something that most people actually don't even learn when they're investing in assets: liquidity of the assets. People always think about how to get into assets. They don't think about how to get out. Something I learned recently from a brother of mine is the moment you enter somewhere, before you enter somewhere, think of how you get out of the place. Right? If you want to get to an investment, think about how you are getting out of that investment at the end of the day. If the how you are getting out is not making sense, then you should not even get into it. If I'm buying land for say a million naira now, and exchange rate is say 1,005, and by the time I'm selling the land for say 10 million, exchange rate is say around 5,000. I'm not sure. I've not done the number. It's just an observation. You most probably are not making money. You're just going backward. You're just preserving the money, which you can do better if you do say gold and stuff like that. So that's why I said your blueprints now. You're going to be the one to write your blueprint by yourself. So if you plan on moving out of, I don't know why people that have plans of leaving the country, jackpot is not a bad thing, by the way. Right? I just discovered that it's just you strategically repositioning yourself for opportunity and to increase your own value, your perceived value in the world. Like I said, your value is not directly proportional to your effort. It's not straightforward. The world is not going to price you what you actually want. It will price you based on what they perceive. And one of the factors that will affect what they perceive is your position. Your geographical position plays a very, very big factor in that. So that's what I was saying. If you plan on leaving the country as a developer, I am making say $2,000 now. You should not even consider buying land in Nigeria. Just put your money into REIT, because if you buy REIT now, if you get into London, you can still be buying REIT next year. You are still in the real estate market. I can liquidate all that to buy maybe a property wherever you are going to, right? So play the long term. If you are playing the long term, we are looking at it on the long term. You understand why it's not smart. Some decisions are they were good advice, say 5 years ago, 10 years ago, but the landscape are changing, but the foundations are still the same. I hope that answers your question. The second one is brokers, right?
Yes.
Okay, for the brokers, I use one broker basically. I use Chaka. Although I've last time I checked, I found out that Truth has more interactive and more suitable interface for stock investing, because there's a particular feature that they have there, right? That what's it called? That they have there, and you can do some kind of paper trading. Paper trading, when it comes to trading and investment, simply means that instead of you actually putting your own money directly into testing out an idea, you can test it out on paper. So you can do it's more like a demo stock. You can buy stock on demo. Say you want to really learn about stock. You can say, okay, if I buy this stock, I'm thinking it will increase in next say 1 week or something. Do that on paper. See how you perform playing with stocks on paper. So I think that's why I like them. You can choose True or Chaka. They work. Then carry wise, you have some nice stuff. ETF, they have
Sorry,
mutual.
I didn't get the name. Sorry.
True. TROV.
Okay, true. Oh, thank you.
All right, great. All right, great. So thank you very much for that. I think at this point we'll take the next question. Hopefully somebody has a question. Hopefully. Okay, so please, if you do have a question, if you cannot unmute yourself, right? And you're so shy, you can drop it in the chat section. I'll read it out and I'll answer it, right? If you would like to ask a question, maybe a comment, or you'd like to share a perspective as well that that is valuable, right? That people would learn from, please unmute yourself. It's supposed to be a conversation at the end of the day, right? So who's going for it next? Anybody? I'm not seeing any hand currently. Can we hear me? Can we hear me? Can you see my voice? All right. Okay. I think there's a question here. Faraday Tolu, how much are we looking at to probably invest in US stocks? That's the funniest thing. You can start investing in stocks with $10. Technically, you can start investing in stocks with $1.01 actually. But the only technical part is the barrier to that is when you want to fund in some of these brokers that I've mentioned, they will require a minimum funding of $10, which is what makes it $10 to start investing in stock. But actually, if you want to buy your first stock, the first stock I bought was the first time I was going to test it out in 2019 or so. I bought something less than maybe like 2 cents or something. That time, dollar was still at 500 naira per whatever it is. Yeah, so you can start with as much as low as possible. When you're able to fund with $10, you can actually fund with $10 and start buying in bits without investing everything at once. Yeah, so I hope that answers Faraday's question, right? I don't know if people ask the question so much. I was talking about investment, but let's do it. Let's have it. I love the questions. All right. What else? What's the first rule of investment and what do you look for in good investment? The first rule of investment, right? Hmm. The first rule of investment is invest in what you know. That's the first rule. Invest in what you know, right? Invest in what you know. It's not really a rule like that. It's just a mindset, a framework that I work with. Invest in what you know, right? But that should not stop you from not investing in what you don't know. If you have a rule of investing in what you know, that if you really want to invest in, you believe that it works, then go and learn about it, know about it to the extent that you can know and guarantee. So during the learning process, you figure it out. Then the second one is, I mean, just trust your gut, honestly, right? Then what do you look out for as good investment? Okay, what do I look out for as good investment? I think next January is coming. People are going to have a lot of Ponzi scheme coming out as investment and stuff like that, right? So I'll use the opportunity to answer this question and chip it in, right? What I look at for as good investment is generally to even consider something as an investment, right? It must have intrinsic value. By intrinsic value, I mean, it must be providing something to somebody, right? Say for example now, somebody saying you should come and invest 10,000 naira on my Olufemi's website, you would get say 15,000 naira after 1 month. The first that should come to your mind is what's Olufemi doing with the money, right? I'm saying it's an investment, but what am I doing with you people's money? Because at the end of the day, if I'm not doing something that has intrinsic value with you people's money, it's just a Ponzi scheme that we all of us are running. We're just catching cruise with Ponzi scheme, and it's going to come crashing. So the first rule of investment is what I look for as good investment is it must have intrinsic value, right? So say you're investing in land now, land has intrinsic value because someday somebody is going to want that piece of land and they'll find that it's valuable, it has intrinsic value, right? And they would pay for it. The same thing if you invest in say retailing businesses, you buy this from say Lagos, you are buying it because it has intrinsic value, and by the time you move it say geographically to somewhere like Osogbo, Akure, or Ibadan, you sell it at a higher price. Somebody will pay it, perceive it as a higher price because of the location and the stress you've taken in moving it around. You get the idea. So that's what I look out for in good investment. It does have intrinsic value. If it does not have intrinsic value, there's not an investment. Then it's something that must be what the return, right? So the return is the same principle that I apply to loan, right? So if I want to take a loan, I think of what's the ROI on the loan. So every loan has a cost. So you're borrowing 10,000 naira, you pay back 15,000. But the question is, that 10,000 that you're getting, what ROI are you getting? If I'm putting it in a business that will give me 20,000, I'll gladly take that 10,000 naira, pay you 5,000 naira extra, and I'll get 10,000 to myself. That's leverage. I didn't put any money down. I got 5,000 naira by just doing something. And if I continue doing that, I'll do it to a certain extent that I will not need your 10,000 naira again. And I can say Thank you very much for banking with me. You get the idea. So that's it. Either it's business, stocks, or anything, it does have intrinsic value, right? At the end of the day, the stocks that we are buying on this platform, they are not just words and tickers, they are actually real company. So when you are buying stocks, buying any investment, you are putting money in any investment, you look at the intrinsic value. What is that thing that has value behind whatever it is? Which is why gold is one of the best investments you can do. The value is standard, it's good standard. Every other thing is trying to reach good standard, basically, right? So, okay, especially in a new country and in a new currency, what do you look out as good investment? So, for me to say what I would look out for as good investment in a new country, in a new currency is why looking for the first question should be the way I will answer the question should be why am I looking for a new why am I looking for something new in a new country? Like your investment should be everywhere you go. The investment that you can put money into everywhere you are, whether no matter the country, the currency, things like stock, RIT. RIT is real estate back. You can invest in. I can invest in US real estate markets, and I'm in Nigeria. The currency does not matter as long as I'm willing to pay the exchange rate, right? Do you think Amazon own all of the warehouses that they use? No, people rent it out to them. And people that rent it out to them are the ones that pay me every month because I invested in their own real estate market, in their own real estate portfolio, which is REIT. That's the most simple way I can put REIT to you. So Amazon is renting a warehouse, or one big company is renting a warehouse, or one bank is renting a building. Banks don't usually own their building, mostly rent in US, right? Unless they are so big, right? So say somebody, one law firm is renting an entire commercial building or somewhere. They are paying rent to a company, and part of that company, I have like say $50 or something. At the end of the day, they pay me something. So you should look at things that actually don't change, right? If you're in a new country, new currency, just look at what you are used to currently, what works currently. Then when you have done that, start looking at opportunities that are available in that new country, in the new currency. Start looking for opportunities that are available. If you want to go completely physical, say physical business, you think maybe you can set up something that they'll pay for, maybe you can buy a business, right? See, for example, now, if you're really liquid and you go to US, you can easily see a company that is doing, say, 100,000, 100,000 small. Say they are doing 500,000 in annual revenue that you can buy as an investment. Yes, earlier this year, I was opportunity to work with somebody that showed me a lot of that side of US. Like if you have real money in US, you can enter US, buy businesses as an investment. So business is actually an investment. You can buy business as an investment. There's somebody that's been running, say, a say a mechanic workshop. They are not always like this local mechanic that we have in Nigeria, which is a call to people to standardize their stuff, right? You can buy a mechanic workshop without actually knowing how to do the stuff. You just employ the people that are still there currently. They run it for you. You know how much you're making at the end of the month and stuff like that. So yeah. Then okay, is bamboo okay for stock investing? Yes, it's okay. It's okay. Saving with okay, try to saying saving with 2025. I promise not to steal your money. Trust save with me 2025. All right, no problem. Maybe we should even start doing a saving challenge in 2025. Everybody should come and be saving in the community so that we can be very accountable, right? But I'm not sure I have the strength to run that thing, right? But we'll consider it as part of the option. If it's something that we want to run, obviously people are not saving with me. Most probably be doing it on piggyverse, right? Everybody will just create a group. Your money is still accessible to only you, right? But everybody's saving towards the target, and we can only see everybody's report. So uh we can do that in 2025, definitely. We can also start a saving system. Send out, okay, Daffy is saying send out newsletter teaching on stock, please. Send the newsletter on this, please. All right. So in 2025, there will be more webinars. We've been thinking around webinars that we'll do. We've been planning for you guys, right? So there'll be newsletters, there'll be free newsletters, there'll be paid newsletters, there will be paid courses and all for stocks and some other stuff, right? And also there'll be opportunity to maybe put money in some things that I'm putting money into in 2025. Obviously, that's going to be a paid to basis because it's going to become some kind of big boy games on my own level, not that big boy. Yeah. All right, great. I think I've answered all the question in the chat section. Do you have anybody that is raising their hand? All right, great. Please, if you have question, please raise your hand so that we can answer your question. Please, let's answer your question. Let's find as much clarity as possible. All right, great. Amanda, I see you. Thank you very much for joining the space. Is there? Okay, I've greeted Triumph. I've greeted Solomon, I see you. Tunde, I see you. Precious, I see you. Praise Oladile, I see you. Oluwatosin, I see you. Oluwatobilola, I see you. Moses, I see you. Mohammed, I see you. King Smith, I see you. Jai, I see you. Ibiam Dafe, I see you. Fawad, okay, Firefly is an AI. Favor Idowu, I see you. Faraday Tolu, I see you. Fami Waye Oluwatobiloba, I see you. Iben, I see you. Baby Wolf, I see you. Barakat, I see you. Abby, I see you. Mercy, Dexter, Assis, then Olufemi Chris. I see myself. All right, great. Okay, thank you very much, everybody, for joining the space. Right. So, do we have questions, comment before we close the space? Right. It's recorded, so we are going to make the recording available once it's ready and exported for free for everybody. Right. All right, great. Okay. Okay, we are not going to make it for free, right? We're not going to make it for free. I'm going to attach a $1 fee to it because of people that didn't attend now because our time is very valuable. So I'm going to attach $1 fee to it, right? So the $1 fee is going to be for people that didn't attend. But if you are here now, you can always access it. By the time it launch, I'm going to put a discount under it. So the discount, once you type the word blueprint in the discount, it will give you, it allow you to access it for free. If you are here and you are hearing this now, you can use the word blueprint to unlock it for free. All right. For other guys, it will be at the cost of $1 for free fee. All right. Barakat is saying, can I miss a list of platform that is okay for stock investment? Okay, the list of platform that is okay for stock investment would send it. Absolutely. I'll send it on the. Are you on the community, Barak? Are you on the community? You will send it to the community. That's the best way I can send it. And I also share it on the newsletter. So if you're not on the community, you are not, if you're not on the community, let me do you a favor, right? So you join the newsletter. Okay, you're on the community, great. So we send it there. All right, great. Okay, do you have any other questions? Another question. And with the way people are asking about stocks and stocks, it looks like we are going to do stocks webinar next year again, all over. All right, great. And yeah, we might just do the entire masterclass that I did last year, paid for 25,000. Was it 25,000? I can't remember. We can do we might just do the entire webinar for free. Like, but you have to be coming around to join. Right. We might do that. Okay, Farmer Iwa is saying is not on the community. So the best way to join the community is bit.ly/Olufemi newsletter. So once you join that newsletter, copy the link. Once you join the newsletter, the next email that is going out, check at the bottom of the email, you will see a link, you will see a button that says join our community, right? That helps you to join the WhatsApp community. All right, great. So if you don't have questions, I would love to take comments, feedback from you guys. If you found value in this entire conversation, just go to your chat section of this call, right? And give whatever you think you learned. If it's something, if you learned something here, let us know that you learned something, right? All right. So leave feedback before we wrap up the call. I would love us to leave feedback, no matter how small the feedback is. I would love you to leave feedback. All right. Thank you very much. If you still have questions, we can still take questions before we finally round up. Before we close the curtain. So we're officially closing the call by 5:30. So please drop your feedback. I should be seeing people typing feedback currently. I'm seeing somebody typing feedback. So please drop your feedbacks. It's if you have questions that we should answer later. Oh, you learned not all asset is profitable. All right, great. All right, great. You don't mind rephrasing that so that because I'm going to screenshot it. So all right, great. If you learned something, this was valuable. Give me feedback that you like this. We should do more of it in 2025, hopefully. All right, so let's leave with feedback. All right, great. All right, great. All right, great. Please, we like us. All right, great. Thank you very much, fellow Ramanda. Thank you very much, Barakat Ogun Chong. Thank you very much, Solomon, thank you very much, Mohammed. Thank you very much. Who else? All right, great. All right, uh, all right, great. So don't forget, Iben, thank you very much. Wow, that's I mean this is nice that Trav is even giving us Trav has been to 2025 already. She has been testing all of these things. Wow, this is plenty. Trav, I go drag you for the community WhatsApp group. We go do giveaway this night. Because she said she did a good number of these things, right? And like financial game was on point, definitely going higher in 2025. So before you go higher in 2025, we are seeing 2024. You use part of the money from the game to do giveaway for us, please. All right, thank you very much, Mercy. Thank you, Ben. All right, great. Ibiamo. Okay, David said you're part of the newsletter. You feel sometimes too lazy to read it, and we should do more of webinars. Okay, would the entire team would consider it uh going forward, right? Okay, great. Okay, yeah, Olufemi is not a team. It's just this phase that I show you now. We are a team now. By the way, the whole thing we are doing here is currently the webinar is now more like a company, right? A registered company. So the entire team will consider it more. All right, Tunde, thank you very much for the session. Your newsletters are great. Wow, thank you very much. Even you two will do giveaway. Thank you very much. Precious, thank you very much. Ah, if people are using what we are saying against us, try of giveaway should be part of your budget normally. Because if you read the newsletter where I said you should be budgeting black tax as part of your budget. Don't tell me your black tax for December don't finish. Oh, you need to do giveaway. All right, thank you very much, Praise. Thank you very much, Dave Besson. Thank you very much. All right, thank you very much, everybody. Please don't leave the call without dropping your feedback. Don't leave the call without dropping your feedback. It's your feedback that would help me to do better, help us to do better in 2024. So in 2025, so 2025, we become more active as a community. A lot of newsletter, a lot of stuff that would help us to get better, right? And at the end of the day, we will we would do more better, right? Personally, I'm holding myself responsible. I write more constantly for the newsletter. And if you have a business here, in 2025, I'm thinking of writing a little bit by the side for as a business newsletter as well. I just share what I know currently. Then, as much as we are learning on the go, we'll share as well, right? All right. Thank you very much. If you have not done your own portion, right, please leave a feedback and you can enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of the year. Thank you very much. See you on the other side. All right. Please ensure to leave a feedback before leaving the call. Ensure to leave a feedback before leaving the call. All right, great.